All right, I'll wait about 30 seconds before people give people a chance to jump in. By the way, as we're waiting, if you haven't checked out Sales World, check out Sales World. Again, I got great speakers, great traders within Sales World. Check it out. It's free. So every month we're going to put in new speakers, new trainers, and again, think of a sales training conference in the Metaverse for free. So go ahead and enjoy that. Again, just go to salesworld.mv. Email is all you need to access the platform. Check out the, let me see, I put in a Hall of Legends, so you can see all the legends in sales. I put in an entertainment lounge. Yeah, in the Metaverse, I put in an entertainment lounge. There's a theater. There's a comedy club in the in the Metaverse. There's an island retreat. You'll have to see that. There's so many cool things within Sales World besides the sales trading stuff. Anyway, today I want to talk about, move off this subject, I want to talk about upping your performance. Now, let's highlight something. There's a difference between progress, I can write it out, and then there's performance. Now, I'm going to give you like the strategy to make you better, right? I'm going to give you, I'll say, a framework to help you get better. But we have to understand these two concepts. We take them for granted. Performance these are results based, almost like key performance indicators. You can basically document, make the metrics concrete. You got numbers. These are numbers. So we'll call this the logical side of winning, right? The logical side of winning. Over here, we have progress. Now, instead of KPIs, we'll call these key performance indicators that, let's say, a company gives you, like so many dials a day, your conversion rate has to be a certain rate, so forth and so on. These are KPIs. That's performance. That's the logical side. The numbers are very tangible, very concrete to the deal, right? But on this side, we have progress. Progress is more of an emotional thing. I'm going to tie this all into getting better. It's an emotional thing. When we feel like we're moving forward, like we're getting better, we're closing more deals, we're advancing, we mentally stay in the game. We're motivated. So for us to stay motivated, we almost have to create what I'll call them PPIs, right? Which are more like personal performance indicators. In other words, we need metrics that tell us, we're moving forward, right? We're moving forward, right? And so what I want to do is give you, first of all, the framework, and then give you a way so you can structure your training, for example, for your people. So again, this side right here is the emotional side, right? Personal performance indicators. Again, you want to feel that you're moving forward. When we feel like we're not making progress, that's when motivation goes wham. The reason people quit, salespeople quit, for example, is because maybe their numbers aren't there, right? That's one of the reasons. The numbers aren't there, but even worse, they don't feel like they're actually making progress. So how do we stay motivated? We can't control this to some extent, right? Because these are deals we're trying to close and these are things we're being measured against. But we can control our progress, how better we get over time. So let me give you the model, and then I'm going to give you first the model, then the framework for you to execute, become this much better. This is going to really change how you think. Now, you as a salesperson, and by the way, you don't have to be in sales. Whatever job you have, we have tasks that we have to complete, right? We all have tasks that we have to complete. Keep that in mind. To do that task, you need a certain skill set, right? You need a certain skill set, right? So if you have the skill set, you can perform that task. For example, prospecting, right? Email outreach, whatever it may be. That's your task that you have to perform to be successful. And then there's the performance piece, right? In other words, how you're measured, right? How you're measured. Now, I'll just call this the STP model to keep it easy, right? That's the STP model. Skill set, here's your task. I need skills to hit that performance level, right? And then if you're hitting the performance numbers, it feeds into itself. That feeds into itself like this. In other words, if I get better, I perform better, the numbers reflect it. This creates, right here, this is where motivation exists. Now here's what's interesting. Any leader, they're lying to you when they say they can motivate you. Nobody can motivate you. Nobody can motivate you. So I always have people say, Victor, can you come in and motivate my team? I'm like, no, I can't motivate them, but I can show them how to stay motivated. And the way they stay motivated is that if they can enter into this loop. In other words, if they can prepare themselves with certain skill sets, do the tasks required, hit the numbers, of course that's going to motivate you, right? You're going to feel like, okay, I can do this, I can do this. So if you buy into what I'm saying so far, if you buy into what I'm saying, that when you're looking at, let me talk to managers for a second. Managers, lean in. Look at your salesperson, all right? And ask yourself, what task are they having a problem with? And then work backwards. What skill set do they need to have? If they don't have the skill set, they're never going to accomplish the task. And then we measure performance. And again, once we start performing, we get motivated. So now, let me give you the actual structure, the framework that you can use to kind of build up your performance game so you can get better faster. So if you buy that model, the STP model, now let's lay it out. Now let's get real for a second. Let's get real for a second, right? So here's what I want you to do. If you're drawing a grid like this, let's say that you have to perform 3 key tasks. So the first thing I would ask you to do, if you're a manager, to working with your salespeople, if you're a salesperson listening in, here's what I want you to do. Write down just 3 tasks. 3 tasks, 1, 2, 3 tasks that you have to do, that you have to get good at to be good at what you do. 3 tasks. So for example, one might be, let's say outbound calling. Let's say dialing. I'll call it dialing. I always like dialing for dollars. I don't know why I like that phrase. Dialing for dollars, right? That means you got to make some calls, right? That's one of the things. In order for you to hit your numbers, you got to make some calls. Now, the KPI that your company gives you is, let's say it's, I don't know, let's be generous and say, or at least conservative here, let's say $60 per day. Okay, some people are going to do 80, some people are going to 100. I know people who do 110, right? But let's say $60 per day. So that's the first task. I need to improve that task. Now notice, I'm asking you to do something very specific here. I'm asking you to highlight 3 tasks, but there's a qualifier here. These are 3 high leverage tasks. Let's define a high leverage task. A high leverage task is one of those tasks that if you do that, if you do those 3 things right, everything else will fall into place. Too often we focus on little tasks that really have no impact or big impact on the overall performance. So what are the 3 major things? That's it. Don't overcome it. What are the 3 major things you need to do every day to hit your number? So let's say one is we got to dial more. We got to pick up the phone, make some calls, right? Connect dials, right? That's the first thing, okay? I wrote down a second one. The second one might be something like, how about doing demos? Doing presentation or demos, right? That's one of the things you have to master, right? So whether you're an SDR, BDR, even an account executive, doesn't matter. If you have to do demos, if you have to do presentations, if you don't like demos, just let's call it a presentation. And let's say that one of your personal KPIs, and maybe even the company, is that every time we do a demo, what we want you to do, right now today, the demo's at, I don't know, it takes you 45 minutes to do a demo, right? 45 minutes to do a demo. Okay, that's the KPI. Let's just say that that's the KPI they're measuring. I'm making this up, but you can plug in your own numbers. The third thing is maybe, I don't know, Victor, one of the things I've been really thinking about, but I haven't done, is video follow-ups, right? Now, a video follow-up can be on after I connected with somebody, after I sold something, whatever it may be, right? Be anything you want. So one of the things I need to do, Victor, is get better at this. Today, I'm at 10. I'm doing 10 video follow-ups every week. I need to get better at that, right? Whatever the number is. Now what I want you to do is run to the other side. Now, do the KPI and ask yourself, this is so simple to do, but not many people do it. If I'm doing $60 per day, but I know I need to be at 80, that's where I need to be. I need to be at $80 per day. Then if I just focus on that high leverage activity, if I can get on the call more, in other words, I can do more dials, I can get better. So what would I need to do, right? If I have to do more dials, like what would I have to do? Well, maybe here's where you're going to write, let's say, what you're going to need. What skill set do I need to go from here to here? What skill set? right? And you'll say, you know what, first of all, Victor, I need to learn how to use the technology. In other words, we got some new products in our tech stack. I need to learn how to use that, to actually use the technology to be more efficient. That's one thing you can do. Second thing you can do is maybe a little time management. I don't know. Maybe you should use I don't know if you ever heard of the Pomodoro method. The Pomodoro technique is like you do 45-minute sprints, take a 5-minute break. 45-minute sprints, take a 5-minute break. Therefore, you're consistent, right? Maybe also I need to have better scripts. I need to really rework the scripts or do some split tests, A, B, whatever it may be. I need to get better at that. Again, you can brainstorm this, with your colleagues, with your manager, whatever it may be. Do that first, and this is what the goal is. Now, how about demos? Again, maybe in order to be more effective at demos, you know what? During discovery, as they like to call it, the disco, right? I should ask better questions, right? I should really ask better questions, and I should really design the questions I need to ask during the demo to qualify this prospect. Also, again, let's not dump the whole load on them. If I've done a good discovery, then you know what? I'm only going to limit it to 3 to 5 features. That's all I'm going to do. Limit it to 3 to 5 features, and maybe I'll look at all the slides that I use, plus my sequence in the demo, and maybe I'll shorten my presentation, my actual slides, and maybe just truncate the actual demo, whatever it may be. So now I can move, and my metric is to try to get these down to 30 minutes. Why? Because if I can do more demos in a day, the chances of selling more go up. Last one, video follow-ups. You're at 10, you want to get to 20. The question then becomes, what skill set do you need to get better? Well, maybe it isn't so much a skill set as it is setting things up. Like one of the things I always talk about is workflow. Workflow in the sense that you have the camera and the lighting all set up so that when you're ready to do the videos, it's all a matter of hitting buttons, turning everything on, and just boom. Because usually what stops us from recording videos is having to think about, I got to go set it up. The room's not set up. I got to get the right lighting. I got to get the right this. I got to do the setup. But what if you had the setup already set up? What if you even decided, just use a basic uniform so you don't have to think about what you're going to wear. Just use a basic uniform, whatever it may be. And then maybe again, write out the scripts ahead of time so you know what to say. And then all of a sudden now you're hitting 20. Now here's what I love. If this is the company KPIs, why don't I make this my PPIs? In other words, this is what the company wants from me. And always try to overshoot what your company wants. So, but what are your personal performance indicators? What are the numbers you want? How you feel you're making progress? If you were to just focus on 3, again, just 3, that's all you have to do. 3 high leverage activities, what would they be? So step number 1, what are your top 3 high leverage activities? Number 2, what are the metrics you're using today to measure those, right? Or the company. Number 3, what skill sets do I need? And then what are my personal performance indicators? Because here's what happens mentally. If I start moving closer to this number here, how do I feel? Go back to the STP model. If I have the skills, I'm performing the task, and I'm hitting my numbers, my personal numbers, then I feel more motivated. When I don't do that, I don't feel motivated. I quit, I give up, right? But the problem is that most people take these metrics that the company gives them, and they don't track their progress. Now, if you're not hitting your KPIs, again, same thing. How do I get to the KPIs? How do I begin to do certain things differently so I can get better? So I just wanted to share this with you because I think when we talk about motivation in the workplace, what we're trying to figure out is what keeps people motivated. Because if they're motivated, if you're a manager, they're going to stay, right? If you're motivated, you're going to love your job. You're going to want to stay there. And the reason a lot of people leave, aside from bad managers, is the fact that they don't feel like they're growing or they're progressing. And I think that's a key word. If you don't feel like you're progressing, then you feel like you're going backwards. Like, why am I here? Daniel Pink wrote this book, the book called Drive. And in the book Drive, he highlighted 3 things. Let me highlight them again. He said, what motivates people? What motivates individuals? Pink said 3 things. Here's what people want. Here's how they stay motivated. Beyond the money, money's important. Beyond the money, he says, because it's not sustainable as a motivator, what do people want? Well, I put it in acronym form, AMP. Said the first thing people want is autonomy. Okay? Autonomy is they want to do it your way. This is important. If you're in sales, you want to be able to sell your way. You know, oftentimes we try to sell somebody else's way, or our manager says, do it this way, make the calls this way, use this script. And I hear that a lot. My manager says I have to use this script. And I think that's a big mistake. And I don't think that's a big mistake. I know it's a big mistake, because when you use a script that isn't yours and you don't have the autonomy to inject your personality, then you're not going to deliver that script with the power that it should be delivered with, because it's not yours, right? So the first step is to give people some autonomy, some freedom, some agency to do things their way. Number 2, he said, was mastery. This gets back to progress. Mastery means you're learning, you're growing. If people don't feel like they're learning, people don't feel like they're growing, people don't feel like they're progressing, that demotivates them, right? And the last one's always a tough one, by the way, is that they have to find purpose in what they're doing. Again, keep in mind, you sell a product or a service. That's what you sell, but that's not the value you offer. Let me say that again. You sell a product, you sell a service, but that's not the value you offer. Too often, salespeople don't understand the value of what they're actually delivering. I do sales training. That's what I sell. That's not the value I deliver. The value I deliver through my sales training is helping companies get better at growing their business. And because that company gets better at growing their business vis-a-vis my training, the value I provide is business growth. People in the business make money. People in the business have families. They can now pay for their children's college, buy that new car, whatever it may be. That's the real value. My value is not the training. It's not the product or the service of training. It is, how do I help companies grow? And if I can help people grow, that's how I find purpose. My question to you, as you think about your product or service, what's the purpose? For example, one more. This happened today. So I have a company that I work with, and they sell pools. What do you think is the purpose of selling pools, right? What's the value in selling a pool? Is it the actual concrete that's poured into the hole? Is it the actual deck, the way it looked, the aesthetics? No. The purpose, the value that they're selling. They're not selling pools. They're selling it, but that's not the value they're offering. The value they're offering when you sell a pool is that you're selling dreams. You're selling memories. Oh, listen to that. They're selling memories. Because at the end of the day, that pool is going to be used by the family. Family's going to have kids. Those kids are going to have kids. And there are going to be a lot of memories created. That's the real value of selling a pool. So it's not just the object you're selling. You got to find what's the real underlying purpose of what you're selling to be effective. So keep these 2 things in mind. This is what Daniel Pink says. To keep people motivated, they have to have autonomy, freedom to do it their way, infuse their personality, mastery. They got to continuously grow, right? Feel like they're learning, getting better. Purpose, find value, not money, find value in what you're actually selling, and then the money will follow. And then back to the STP model. And that was, you got to learn a skill so you can improve your task, whatever task you have to execute on, and that will increase your performance. Now think about this. If I'm executing, I'm performing, I'm growing, I'm feeling good about myself, I'm going to love being with this company, which means I'm not going anywhere. And if I can find purpose, define what that is in what I'm doing, I'm that much more happier. So anyway, that's all I want to talk to you about today. Hope you enjoyed the model. If you have any questions, hit me up, leave comments below. And if you have any questions now, I'll take them now. Let me see. Yishak said, you have no idea how you are helping me and making me the best sales trainer. Yishak, Ethiopia, man, thank you very much, man. And that's all I had. It's 20 minutes. I only wanted to do 10 minutes, something quick, but it went a little longer than I expected. And again, if you get an opportunity, if I can highlight this again, check out Sales World. Again, it's a free metaverse. We got great trainers on there, sales experts. We got Brent Adamson. If you've ever heard of Brent Adamson speak and train, you got to go on there. Tim Reister, Matt Dixon, let me see, Meredith Powell, a few others, Colleen Francis, some great speakers, great trainers. Go to Sales World. It's absolutely free, and it's really cool. And again, check out the entertainment lounge. Check out the theater. I got a movie in there you can go see. I got a comedy lounge. I got some other crazy stuff in there like an island retreat, the Hall of Legends. I got so much stuff in the metaverse that's really cool to look at. And the reason I designed this was for companies or yourself, if you can go to a sales conference, go to this one. And again, all you need is your keyboard to cruise through the actual metaverse. It's pretty cool. So if you want to see it, what I'll do now, if you want to jump off, go ahead. If you want to stay on, hang out a little longer, I'll show you what it's all about, just give you a sample demo. Here it comes your way. Welcome to Sales World. Now, when you first enter Sales World, you're going to have to enter your email, and then once you do that, or you can log in through Facebook or using your Google account, and then you continue with your email. Now, here you're going to have to create a password. Now, if you're logging in for the first time, it's going to send a validation code to your email, which you will then use to actually log in. And then you can actually create a password like I have here, and then I simply jump in. Now, it flashed real quick, but it'll tell you to enable your camera. It'll tell you to enable your microphone so you can talk and speak to people within Sales World. All right, so I think we're good to go here. My microphone's all set. Hit the join. Before I do so, notice over here, if you're first logging in, this is your avatar. And what it's going to allow you to do is upload your profile picture, and it'll go at the top of the avatar where your head belongs, obviously. And then down here, you can actually add a logo. I just created this logo called Victor here. And this is what people will see. You won't see it, but this is what people will see once they come across you in the actual Sales World Metaverse. Now, right here on the side, you see the little arms here? They'll light up at a different color when you're actually engaged in the conversation. But more on that later. Let's just jump into Sales World and get you oriented. Now, it always starts out with this tutorial.
Welcome. Let's briefly go over the basic functions to get you up and running. Click Get Started to begin. Feel free to move around the space. Use the arrow buttons on the screen or on your keyboard to move forward, backwards, and from side to side. Use the rotating buttons to turn full circle. Try it now. Perfect, you got it. To start a video call or join an ongoing group conversation, click on the avatar you want to talk with. Click on My Avatar to start a video call now. It's great to connect. You may now leave this video call and join the event. Have fun.
So now you are in Sales World. Now I'm going to turn off this background music, and what I'm going to do is use again my arrows just to control my movement through Sales World. And one of the first things you'll see is this venue map. Now let's kind of orient ourselves. Now you see this waterfall off to the side? This is the main stage right here. That's this right here. You are right here. Notice how Sales World is laid out. It's pretty simple, right? You can actually make a 360-degree track all the way around, which we're going to do. And then along the walls, you're going to have speakers. You're going to have companies to watch in 2023. And then you'll be able to approach each of these booths and watch a video. You'll also notice that there's big rooms like the President's Room, the Library, the Account Executive Room. Over here, the SDR Room, the Lumera Lounge, listen to great music, Sales Velocity Room. So let's do this. We're right here right now in front of the map that we're looking at. Let's go ahead and start cruising all the way around to kind of orient you in this space. Let's go do this now. And I went through the wall right there, but you get the idea. You can do that. So, for example, here's Sangram. I can approach Sangram. Again, I'm just using my arrows to actually approach him. I get close enough. Notice that the video starts playing. And there's Sangram. Again, we got the audio off, so that's why you can't hear him. And again, you could watch the presentation, which is a great presentation. And as soon as you're done, you just simply back out and then just use your arrow keys to kind of cruise around. And again, there's different speakers, different companies to watch. Here's a great company, one of my sponsors for the podcast, so I should mention that, Big Tin Can. And again, you approach it, video starts playing. And again, this is a company to watch in 2023. So let's zoom out again here. Let's back out with the back arrow. And again, there's a Sales Velocity Room. Notice the wonderful plane overhead. This is the sales kickoff event. Here's the Lumera Lounge. You can go in there, listen to some music. And all I'm doing is going all the way around so you can kind of get an idea of what's here. Here's the SDR room over to the left. So you go in there, you can watch a great speaker. And again, you're just cruising. And all I'm doing again is cruising through the space. I want to land back to where we started to kind of give you an idea. And you can just see the map right here. And again, people will see your avatar floating in the space. Right now, I am the only one in the space, and here is the map. And again, what I did was I just started here, and I just went all the way around. There's the Lumera Lounge to kind of orient yourself, and then right back here. Now, there's one more thing I want to show you. Again, you can go into any of these rooms and listen to a speaker, but there's also a special panel here. There's another one located on the other side, but this also takes you to three other spaces. So this is the main hall that we're currently in. But if you want to go to the entertainment lounge, the Hall of Legends, or Island Retreat, you can do so by clicking on these teleport buttons. For example, let's go to the Hall of Legends, and this is where you'll find the sales greats. Now, this is the Hall of Legends, and again, it works real simple. Just walk up to one of the actual images, Zig Ziglar. Who doesn't know who Zig Ziglar is? You will watch a small clip of Zig Ziglar. And again, I have the audio off, which is why you can't actually hear him. On this side, we have Dennis Waitley, another great sales legend. And again, just approach the screen, the video will start playing. And again, there's other legends in here. You can kind of cruise through the verse to check them out. Once you're done doing that, you can just go back to the actual main hall. Just click there, take me back to the main hall. And then you can visit the entertainment lounge. Again, just look for this panel right here when you want to go to some different rooms. But again, there's so much here to look at. Besides the Island Retreat, the entertainment lounge, got some great stuff in there for you. There's so many great speakers on either side. We also have, right over here, I believe is on this side, and I'll just go right here to my friend Luis Fallas. We also have some presenters in Espanol. So Luis talks about leadership, and again, this is a Spanish session. We have 2 Spanish speakers in the Salesverse, and we also have a library where you can download some free books. If I cruise back here, just check out the library. And what I did is I put some great podcasts in there, you know, like Daily Sales Tip, right? Also some reports from Gallup that you can download. Again, you'll go to their website. There's my podcast, The State of Sales, a great report. Women in Sales podcast with Lori Richardson. On this side, we have John Barrows. Here's my book, Mastering the Upsell. You can download that for free. Jeff Bajor's book, When It Goes Sideways. Again, The Sales Evangelist, my man himself. And also a Spanish book so you can download. So again, this is fun stuff that you can download. And again, there's so much to see. If you want to see me on the main stage, there you can see me. What we'll try to do is every month, we'll try to get a different speaker on the main stage. And so again, all you do is approach this. And right now it's asking you if you want to join the main stage. You cannot do that right now because we're not doing a live event. But during a live event, you'll be able to actually join people live on the main stage. So again, so many cool things to see. And you can see the video starting to play. But you get the idea. Again, in the background, you got virtual Singapore. So again, enjoy Sales World. Check it out. Let me know what you think. All right. Anyway, so you get to see it there. But anyway, check out Sales World. Again, .mv Metaverse. It's absolutely free. And then every month, what I'll do is add a new batch of speakers in there to bring new content every single month. And again, it's absolutely free. So if you can do me a favor, share that link with whoever you want, like anybody on your team or just one person, that would be great. On that note, if there are no questions, Alberto says this is amazing. Thank you, my man. I appreciate that. I am out of here. Got to go do other things. Take care.